Okay, for those of you who just hopped on, this is our first Monday Marketing Mastermind. And in my organization here, we do a coaching huddle 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we've recently decided to make Mondays focused specifically around marketing and getting together around a topic or an idea, sharing some best practices, and then opening it up for Q&A and making that available to anyone who's interested. And so we've got a ton of guests here today, which is fun and exciting. It always, the more people we have, the more energy there is, the more exciting it is. And today's topic is on using short form videos to get more clients. And we will, time permitting, we're going to dig into where do you find inspiration or ideas for the videos? How do you create the videos? How and where do you syndicate the videos? Actually, a step before that, how do you edit the videos so that they are ready to then be syndicated? And where do you syndicate them or upload them or share them, whatever word you want to use there? And then some resources as far as recommended apps. And then, of course, we'll open it up for Q&A and for others to share their best practices, experience, etc. I'm going to mention this now, and I'll mention it several times throughout. If you're a guest today and you would like more information and specifically a detailed breakdown and manual of what we're going to dig into here on this session, get back with the person who invited you and they will share that. Now, it'll take us some time to put some of that together for you, but as soon as we have that available, we are happy to share that with you as a way of saying thanks for being a guest, and as a way to try and help out folks in our community. There is no lack of people in our industry trying to get into our wallets and our pockets, and we want to try and help by being the antithesis of that, offering some help and useful ideas without an expectation of exchange there. So I have put together, let me find this here. I've put together a document to sort of lead the conversation here today, or at least provide some framework. And I'm going to unpack and walk through that. And then at some points, I will also be sharing my my phone, because some of the activities you have to do directly on your phone. So some quick things, and maybe some definitions and thinking about, how and why we would use this video. Why is this even important or relevant, right? So when we're talking about short form video, generally speaking, we're talking about 60 seconds or less, 60 seconds or less, because on most platforms, the short form opportunity is 60 seconds or less. For example, YouTube Shorts, a relatively new version of YouTube. Videos under 60 seconds qualify to be a YouTube short. Over 60 seconds do not. Now, some of the platforms do allow for longer short form videos. TikTok now allows up to 3 minutes. IG Reels is maybe 2 minutes. I'm not even sure. And then there are some platforms like, for example, Google My Business. If you want to upload a video directly there, it's actually got to be 30 seconds or less. Okay. But 60 seconds or less is a nice catch-all where we can create one piece of content and potentially then share or utilize that piece of content on 8 or more platforms. So, for example, TikTok, Instagram with IG Reels, Facebook with Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, Twitter, although, we won't even go there. Who knows where Twitter will be in a couple of months. I'm not going to, that's not what this is about, but as long as it's, exists and I can upload content there, I'm going to go ahead and do it. LinkedIn, Google My Business, and even for the longer videos, there is a way that you can share them on Google My Business, and time permitting, we'll get into that today. If we don't have time today, it will be included in the bonus training that you can get access to by getting back to whoever invited you. And then utilizing the video on your blog or your website. And embedding that in there, right? Finding as many ways possible to utilize that. Now, one of the many reasons why I love video, and specifically short form video like this, is if you were to create if you wanted to reach out to 25, 50, 100, 250, 500 people and convey a message like one of the example videos that I did pre-record today because I wanted to save us some time, but I'll talk through and walk through how I did that. But I did pre-record one just so we had something to start with. We weren't starting from scratch. But if I wanted to share that message and communicate that to 25, 50, 100, 250, 500 people, and I was doing it one-to-one, it would be a significant tax on my time. It would take me a long time, but I can create a video, a 60-second video, and depending on the reach that I have on platforms, I can get 25, 50, 250, 500, 1,000. Some of the videos, the short form videos I've created, have gotten tens of thousands of views, and it's something I created once and syndicated using this process, right? So it affords us a great deal of leverage if we utilize it. And there's lots of different ways that you can create videos, okay? I'm going to come back to the recommended apps and resources. I'm going to come back to this, important note here, but some things that I want to highlight and point out. If you're wondering, like, I don't know, my biggest issue, let's say, the two biggest issues that we often hear from folks is, I don't know what to make a video about, and I don't know how to do it, or I'm not comfortable on camera. Okay, so some thoughts around that. Number one, where to find video ideas. And this is far from an exhaustive list. And in fact, in the bonus training that we're going to put together, we've got a lengthy list of video topic ideas that we're just going to share with you. But if you're looking for ways to find current and relevant topics to create your videos around, you can look no further than Keeping Current Matters, for example. Keeping Current Matters is a wonderful platform and tool for real estate agents where they create and curate information and blog posts and videos and so forth that you can, or that are very timely for what's going on in the market right now. They're very data driven, right? So it's not just opinionated type of content. They use data to drive those conversations. And though they have a paid platform, and though I believe that it is one of the most, the best bang for your buck as a real estate agent, I truly believe that. You don't even need to be a paying member. They make the blog post free and open to anyone. So all you have to do is go check out content on Keeping Current Matters, whether it be on their website or on their Facebook page, and you'll see a limitless number of ideas of video content that you can create. You can find ideas by looking for other agents who are creating short form videos on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, on IG Reels, on Facebook Reels. Now, you don't want to completely just rip off what they're doing, but their ideas, taking an idea and putting it into your own words, or giving your own opinion, or giving your own perspective based upon your market versus whatever's going on in that person's market, gives you limitless other ideas. And then lastly, at least for now, and actually, if you have other ideas of where to find them, we'll open it up real quick here, is your interactions with your clients can be some of your best video ideas. When you get questions from clients, it means in most cases, they're not the only people wondering about that question. And so when they ask you, and when you get questions from clients, every one of those becomes an opportunity to create content that will position you as a market expert and as someone who's in tune with what's going on in the market, right? And so whether it is a generic buying question or selling question, or it's a specific question about your market, all of those become opportunities for you to share your expertise, grow your brand, and get more client opportunities by folks finding this content. Where, for those of you that either are creating videos or maybe not, but know that you've seen some great other places to find video ideas. Does anyone have any they would like to share? Winifred.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was thinking perhaps, sometimes we'll watch the news for a certain length of time and they'll mention something. Couldn't we take something that they say that we know is incorrect and do a short video on, like an update on what
Oh,
you
I love that. Yeah.
heard of?
No,
Okay,
here's what the news is saying, but here's the reality, right? So
exactly.
don't believe everything you hear on the news. Here's what the data shows us, or here's what the market stats tell us about what's going on. 100%. I love that idea, right?
Right.
Because when you're being it's sort of controversial, but not really. Like you're cutting through the nonsense, right? And in the world we live in now, I think that people pay attention to that stuff. Harry, go ahead.
I think that looking at national, like looking at NAR or other pieces of national news, and then giving the local twist is really, that shows that you're a local expert. You can say, well, here's what's happening, or here's what it says nationally, but here's what I'm seeing right here in our neighborhood.
A perfect specific example of that is, and you'll see lots of opportunities with Keeping Current Matters type articles, because they have to use national data. And so, for example, something that was sticking out for me this morning preparing for this is that October 28th versus October 28th last year, we've seen an increase in like 39.5% of inventory of homes available, right? And so that's the national number. And an example of putting into practice what Harry's saying is, that nationally home inventory is up 39.5% versus a year ago. Here's what that looks like in our market. Here is that, specifically here in central Pennsylvania, it's actually up more or less than that, whatever that number may be. But I think that's a wonderful example. And that's a never ending opportunity for video content, right? Whether it be, another number that was in there was multiple offers, or number of showing requests, or number of pending homes. There's any number of data that you can take national numbers and then tell the local story, right? And position yourself as the local authority with that. Any other thoughts on that before we move on to actually creating the video content and then getting our content out into the world so people can find us and
Yeah, Josh.
we've got knowledge and know-how. Yes, Terry.
Hey, Josh, I just wanted to mention also that our local MLS, when you first log on, they usually have information that pops up, but also our local membership does a newsletter. And I find a lot of local information in there that's useful for me.
That's a great point. Your local association is most likely producing content that you could turn into video content, even if you're just becoming the video reporter of that content.
Right.
Simple enough. You're taking content that exists in one medium and putting it into a different medium, and by doing that, you become or are received as the expert. So great stuff, great share. Okay, so now we've got the ideas. How do we create the video content? Okay, well, it could be as simple as taking your phone, okay, opening up your camera and recording a video. And in most cases, that's what I do. And that's, the easiest way to get started. You could do it. So the example that I'm going to use was one video cut, meaning I recorded a 60-second video straight through. But TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts, etc., they make it easier than ever and increase the sort of user acceptance to have multiple cuts of a video. So I guess my point is, you don't have to do a one take of a video, right? A simple format to follow is you have an introductory sentence or two, you share 3 things, okay? And you share a summary or a closing statement. So that could be 5 short clips. if each of them are 10 seconds in length, when you mash them up, it becomes 60 seconds of video. Now, how do you mash those kind of, how do you do that, right? Well, you can use your phone. Again, you could use, for example, iMovie if you have an iPhone. I'm sure there are similar apps on Android. A great free app is an app called CapCut. CapCut, C-A-P. And by the way, I'm just realizing this now. I didn't share this document into the chat for everybody that wanted to follow along. So give me a second here. I'm going to share this, this document into the chat because it's got, for one reason or another, but it's got the links to some of these resources, etc. So CapCut is a totally free app that you can use. And it's a great one where you can upload multiple clips and you can even edit. You can add stickers, you can add text, you can add captions, you can add an audio track. Okay, all of that is native in there. And I'm going to actually pop in and use CapCut here in a minute to do that. Captions is another app that I really like for creating captions for your video. CapCut does it, and it does it for free. Captions does it in a way that's a little bit more interesting and engaging, and it's got a little bit more functionality. It's not free, but it's one that I've used. It was recommended by a buddy of mine. I really like it. I use it pretty frequently. It's there for you for those who are interested. A couple other recommended apps and resources. And by the way, if you have any recommended apps or resources for this, go ahead and drop them in the chat and we'll add them to the document here and add them into the bonus training that you'll all get access to if you get back to whoever invited you here today. Another one, and this is for the actual, this sort of checks off a bunch of boxes, but the Keeping Current Matters mobile app, and specifically the upgraded version of their membership that includes Real Talk, I think is the name of the service. They will actually give you video scripts and a built-in teleprompter, and even build in slides or different content into the videos. And in fact, the video that I'm going to syndicate, I recorded this morning with that tool because I thought, I might as well demonstrate and give everybody an example of what that looks like. Time permitting, I also did one where I didn't actually make the video yet, but I did 5 different clips like I described, where I did an intro. I shared 3 things in 3 different clips and then an outro. And we'll see if we have time here. If not here, we'll add that to the bonus. But that is a great tool for those of you, if you're not sure what to say, if you don't know about video ideas, etc. I think they come up with, it's 2 to 4 per month, where it is literally the whole script of exactly what to say. Now, I would recommend you go in and you tweak the script to fit the way that you talk, so it comes off a little bit more natural. But that is a great tool for those of you who are a little bit freaked out about how to get started and what to do. That's a great one. And then I did include also the teleprompter app that I have and have used on my phone. Now, I will say that I, generally speaking, don't use a teleprompter, or in most of my videos, I don't do that. However, I've been making and creating videos since like 2008 or 9. So I've got a lot of experience, and I've gotten to the point where usually I can just come up with an idea and my bullet points and click go and go. And sometimes it takes me more than one take. But that is something that might be helpful. And there are other great ones as well. I know, Chuck, you have shared one in the past before a couple of times. If you could drop that in the chat, and then it does look like we're getting some other ideas. Are the KCM videos branded by them, John? I don't know exactly what you mean, but if you mean, does it have KCM branding on the videos? No. If you are using Real Talk, when you download it, there's no watermark on them or anything like that. I think the only thing that may show is, and we'll see in a minute here, if there's a slide on them on there, it might have there, but I don't even know that it does that. I don't even remember, but we'll see here in a minute when I start sharing my my phone, because I used that this morning for the one that we're going to use. Text on video app, some great recommendations here. Good stuff, good stuff. Big View is also, and Prompt Smart for teleprompter. I think that was the other one that Chuck had mentioned as well. Okay, let's actually, I'm going to actually share my phone. I'm going to share the video, and then we're going to start. I'm going to edit it, and then I'm going to start syndicating it here. And please, if you have questions, while I'm doing this, I'm going to get a little focused and distracted. But feel free to open your line if you have a question. Like I'm totally okay with the interaction and the conversation, because if you're wondering, somebody else might be as well. Okay, I'm going to hopefully get this to work here. It worked. Look at that. Okay, so this is the video I recorded this morning with the KCM app. Okay, and you can't buy a home today. Here's what I can tell you. While the headlines are, one of the biggest questions we're getting right now is, should I still buy a home today? Here's what I can tell you. While the headlines are focused on the market cooling in recent months, they don't paint the full picture of why home ownership is worth it. While those short-term changes matter, homeowners win in the long run, and I can prove it. We know that home values typically rise with time, and we've certainly seen that over the past few years. But here's what I want you to really understand and focus on. On average, home prices have risen 290% over the past 30 years in this country. That's almost 300% growth. Now, why does this matter if you're thinking about buying a home? It goes to show home ownership wins over time. As home values grow and as you pay down your mortgage, you build equity, and that gives your net worth a big boost. With time, you could be sitting on a significant amount of home equity. Home ownership is a play that wins in the long run, and if you're ready to invest in your future, let's chat. Okay, there you have it. Simple. And that was me. Literally, I went into the KCM Realtalk or their mobile app. I selected scripts, which is the Realtalk add-on. I opened it up. I read the script. And then I hit record video, and it was all pretty easy. And, generally speaking, you could tell maybe if you were really trying to figure out, is he reading something? Maybe you could, which is, whatever. Here's the point. Better to create a video however you want to or are able to create it and syndicate it out there than not doing it, even if you have to get started by using these kinds of tools, etc. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that video and we're going to use CapCut. I may even also use captions just to show you some of this different functionality. And we're going to edit the video, and then I'm going to start uploading and posting them to some of the different platforms. So again, don't hesitate to reach out. And if somebody can help moderate, if there are questions that are coming in the chat that are relevant, that would be super helpful as well. So I'm going to go and open up CapCut. And I'm going to click New Project, and I'm going to find my video right there. One of the biggest questions I'm going to add. Now, one of the things that CapCut does is they add a little thing at the end here, like a watermark. If you select that and hit delete, it'll just get rid of it. Okay, but it does do that sort of automatically. So there are a number of different things that I can do in here. As I mentioned already, I can add an audio track. You can see at the bottom, I can add an audio track. I can add text. I can add stickers. I can do overlays and effects. I don't do a ton of that. There are different ways that you can do some of these other things as well. But for example, if I wanted to add a sticker, I don't know, the wow sticker. I could. All you have to do is use your finger. You can't see, but I'm using my finger to just kind of change some of those things. Okay. If I wanted to, if I hit the checkbox, if I wanted to, whoops, not sticker. If I want to add text, text would be like adding a title at the top here. So if I want to say, is now still a good time to buy a You know what? I haven't tried this, but I'm gonna add, instead of saying home, I'm gonna put a home in that, and I'm gonna break it up into 3 lines. Okay, and I can make that a little bit bigger. And I can do all kinds of different effects here. You can do different art. You can do different styles. Let's say I want to do that. I don't know. I don't really like that. Maybe that. And actually, I'm going to add a question mark at the end. I don't like the solid yellow. So let's see here. Anyway. Whoops. Effects, style. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go effects. I'm just gonna say that.
Can that yellow be done in opaque?
What's that?
Can the yellow be done in opaque?
Yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time. Yes, you can. I'm not super, there we go. I'm not super well versed on a lot of those. I'm pretty plain Jane with the way I do a lot of this stuff. But yes, you can definitely mess with the transparency of it. So for now, I'm just going to leave that there.
Looks good.
I can add. Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to export this one as it is. And I'm going to do some of the other stuff in app so you can see some of that functionality. So, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to export this one for TikTok, and then I'm going to come back into here and show you how you can add audio tracks as well. So it exports. It usually doesn't take that long because we're talking about short videos here. So I'll have something ready here pretty quick. And then I'm going to take this video and I'm going to go to captions to add the captions for it, just to show you what that looks like. Though, again, you can do that right in CapCut as well. So I'm going to go to captions, create, pick from library. One of the biggest questions. Continue. One of the biggest questions we're getting. Proceed with magic is what it calls when it's doing that. It says this may take up to 60 seconds. It's a good time to check. Do we have any? It's the message that counts. That's a good point, Terry. The message that counts. That's what's most important. And I think it coming authentically from you as the messenger of that message. It normally doesn't take this long. I'm guessing because I'm screen sharing here is what is causing the delay. And if it delays anymore, I'm just going to go back to CapCut and we'll do it in there. Come on, come on. Almost. You've probably seen this in action. Captions from this Captions app. If you've watched any short form video content. One of the biggest questions we're getting right now is, should I still buy a home today? Here's what I can tell you. While the headlines are focused on the market. How to pause that. There we go. Okay. So I like the captions to go at the bottom and a headline at the top. Don't paint the full picture of why home ownership. If I choose style, thank goodness it stops me talking. If I choose style, I can choose different, these different styles of how the captions come across. I'm going to go with bold. Let's see how that looks. And I can choose edit. So, there are lots of different things that you can choose from. Active word background. It's got a lot of built-in functionality. Let's just leave it at that. I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to choose, well, you know what? I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to click done. I'm going to click done. The biggest questions we're getting right now is, should I still buy a home today? Here's what I can tell you. While the headlines are focused on the market cooling in recent, I'm going to save that. And I'm going to I'm going to export to camera roll. While it's doing that, so the next thing I'm going to do is something that I've got as an important note in that document, which is I'm going to add a caption to the video, and I'm going to add a geotag. I'm going to geotag the location of the video before I start syndicating it or sharing it on these different platforms, because we want to take advantage of that local opportunity, the local juice, right? For most people, like for me, it would not be valuable if somebody in Montana who's thinking about buying a home in Montana watches my video, right? I want people locally here who are thinking about buying a home to watch the video and then reach out to me. So now that I've got the exported version, yep, okay, so I've got the exported version with the captions on my phone. On an iPhone, this is the way you do it. I would imagine on Android it is similar, but it might look slightly different. You may need to go and like Google, how to edit video on Android or whatever. But if I click on the I right here at the bottom, just right of center, the I can now add a caption, and I can add a geotag. So I've got to do the caption first. And the caption is where I believe you should load up with keywords, right? Buying a home in Central PA, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. This doesn't, in my opinion and experience, this doesn't have to me, it doesn't even have to make any sense. You're basically just loading it up with relevant terms for who, for things people may look for that this would make the connection for. For example, Thursday on our huddle, I shared a video that I had shot in front of a listing. And in that case, we started with a home for sale, the area, and then I had the address, and I think I put, Josh Schoenly, eXp Realty, something of that nature. So just kind of fitting the caption to the content of the video. Buying a home, I'm going to say houses for sale, and I'll leave it at that. Okay, I'm going to click done on that. And then if I scroll down a little bit, I can add a location. You can do by city, you can do township, you can do specific location. So let's say, one of the ideas that we didn't even get to today was doing short form video content in front of other local businesses. Maybe you're out in front of your favorite coffee shop. I did a video at a local artisan bread place in my market, and that got a lot of traction. And in that case, the caption was the name of the store, the address, and there may have been a few other things, right? So it's just about, figuring out what makes the most sense. For me, the location, I'm just going to do Harrisburg, PA. Okay, I'm going to do Harrisburg, PA. So now, as long as you've done that, if I go back and look at it, the caption is there and the geotag is there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to TikTok. We've got a video that's ready to share. This is going to get annoying here for a minute because it's going to keep playing me again. But I'm going to grab the one that I've edited.
We're getting right now.
I'm going to get rid of that description
because
I've already added it.
Here's what I can.
I'm going to add sound. I would recommend, there's maybe no right or wrong answer here. TikTok viral is a great place to find. This is a sound that I use often. I just think it's, just nice and pleasing. I don't know what's this one. We use this one, I think. So Smiles and Sunsets. It's on the viral list. It's instrumental, and I like it. It's nice. It's got a good upbeat sound. So I'm going to click the red check mark.
Questions we're getting right now is, should I?
This is critically important.
Here's what I can tell you. While the headlines are focused,
you've got it on the right hand side. Scroll down. Go click on volume.
Ownership is worth it. While those short-term changes matter, homeowners win
And
in
I
the long run.
typically
and I
find
can
between
prove it.
10 and 15%.
We know that home values typically
so that you
rise
can,
with time, and we've
so that
certainly seen that
the
over
audio,
the past few
the
years.
sound
But
isn't
here's what
drowning
I
out
want
you
to
who
really
are talking.
understand and focus on. On average, home prices
So-
have risen 290.
I'm just going to click next, but I could have added a sticker there. I just couldn't stand the noise anymore. But you could add a sticker there, and there are lots of different ways that you can edit directly in TikTok. And by the way, the reason why I like to edit outside of some of these platforms is it makes it easier to then publish them, easier and faster, versus having to edit them on each different platform. Okay. All right. This is relatively new and exciting. TikTok now allows you to tag your location in the video post as well. So I'm going to start actually by doing that. I'm going to tag the same location that I actually tagged the raw video, let's say, that, you know, the core video. And I wanted to save some time here. So I've already created a you know, what I'm going to post here. Okay. So hopefully this will paste it in here. It did. And so in the document, you will see that I did this ahead of time. And this is a good idea, I think, to do ahead of time. Now, the only thing I would say to that, or caveat I would say to that, is if you're not sure about hashtags, the nice thing here is if I wanted to add another hashtag, and I start doing a hashtag, I don't know, I'll do, I've got Hershey, PA. I'll do, you know, home buy. So I can see home buyer, home buying tips, home buyer tips, home buyers, home buying 101, home buying process, home buyer TikTok. I don't even know what that means. But you can see the number of views. Am I still, you guys can still see my phone, right? Or no? Yes. Okay. For some reason, it's not sharing for me right in a second, but whatever. So you can see and get an idea. Now, I wouldn't only go with ones that have millions of views, because part of the magic in this is doing localized hashtags. So finding local hashtags that also have a fair amount of views, I think that's the sweet spot. Though now that we can geotag videos, I think a good mix makes sense. So having some local tags, but also some non-local tags that would maybe have. So I'm gonna add home buying process. I'm gonna add that one. And so you can have, I would use, you know, I don't know, 15 to 20 tags. This is another recent update from TikTok where they're giving you a lot more characters. Not all that long ago, you could only have 150 characters. You have a lot more opportunity. And my title is simply, should I still buy a home in Central PA right now? I think when you can, or when it makes sense to have that text be a question, is it creates more engagement. It creates more curiosity. It increases the likelihood of someone, if they're scrolling, if they see that, to watch. By the way, that's also a great tip for email subject lines. Asking a question in an email subject line is, generally speaking, going to increase your open rate, because questions create an open loop in people's brains, and they want to close that loop, right? They want to answer the question, even if it's you giving them the question, right? When they read that or they see that, they want to close that loop. All right. So I'm just making sure I've got everything. So I tagged the location. I've got the the text and the hashtags in there. I'm going to go ahead and post
All right,
that.
guys, let's talk. So there's like this conglomerate of people that are mad at me because I
don't know how to pause these. There we go. Pause while it's uploading. So that one will upload, and you can set it up so that it automatically uploads and shares to Instagram. Do not do that though. Do not do that though. Okay. Because we want to natively post these on each platform and utilize some of the built-in functionality of those platforms. Okay. The order that I typically share my videos, and this is, I mean, there's no necessarily rhyme or reason to this, but I usually will do TikTok, IG Reels, Facebook Reels, Twitter. Okay. And oh, by the way, this is a big one. And this is a reason why you should have this ahead of time. If you don't have your title and your hashtags ahead of time, copy them before you hit submit on TikTok so you can go and utilize them and not start from scratch on Instagram or on Facebook. Save you some time there, okay? Before I go and post to Instagram, I'm actually going to go back in to CapCut. Actually, no, I'm not. I was going to go back into CapCut and add audio there. But maybe I'll show that for one of the other platforms. So instead, right now, I'm just going to go, I'm on Instagram. I'm going to go plus. I'm going to choose Reel. I'm going to go and find. Now, I don't want the one that has the TikTok watermark. Okay. I don't want to do that. I want to choose the one that we edited before that.
Questions we're getting.
I'm going to choose that one again. And notice I can add audio just like I can in TikTok. Now, I personally don't like the way the audio selections work in Instagram nearly as much as TikTok, which is why I was going to go and edit them in CapCut. It's more, I don't know, I find it harder to find instrumental music that makes sense or that works over the kind of video content that I'm most often sharing, okay? I don't know, maybe this bright will be a little aggressive.
Why don't you show?
Because I want it to be an instrumental. Let's see if we can find something that'll work here. Maybe. I kind of like that one. I'm going to choose that. I'm going to make sure that it starts at the beginning. And I'm going to click done. I think, hold on. Oh, why did it do that? Okay, so I've got to turn down the music and turn up.
Ownership is worth it. While those short-term changes matter, homeowners win in the long run, and I can prove it. We know that home values typically rise with time, and we've certainly seen that over the past few years. But here's what I want you to really understand and focus on. On average,
and click next. I just want to keep this moving along here. Normally, I may take a little bit more time to do some of these things, but I want to keep it going here and keep it moving along. So I think this is still saved, this text. It is. So I've got the same text that I'm going to use, the same hashtags, etc. I'm going to tag the location, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, same function as with TikTok, and I can go ahead and share. Now, while that one's posting, actually, I'll leave that post upload. Questions thus far?
Yeah.
I'm going to share on a couple more platforms, but go ahead.
Is there some data saying that having the music in the background is more effective than not? And I ask that because as an auditory learner myself, if that music's up, around 10% even, it's distracting for me. So I'd prefer it not to.
I believe that there is data, and part of the use here is you want to be on the algorithm side, and part of the reason in favor of making sure that you're choosing the audio track that you're adding inside of each platform is that allegedly that increases the virality component for it, or the opportunity that Instagram or TikTok is going to show your content. Harry, some thoughts I'm sure to add there.
So my question is this: is there a way to put a link in any of these platforms? I know Instagram gets a little funky about putting links, but for instance, if I was going to do a short form video on YouTube and I wanted to say something like, if I'm doing like a market update, I say, if you want to see what's happening in Montgomery County, click on the link below and go, and look at, see my most recent market update.
Instagram and TikTok, you can't really link. You could put a link, but it won't hyperlink. In other words, you can put a URL. You could put, growwithjosh.com, but someone would have to go to that. One workaround that I've done, for example, the video that I mentioned from last week of a listing, I created a text code. Instead of sending them to a URL, I said text JS751 to 717-510-1452 for more information or details. Now, the one thing that you did mention, YouTube, there are some things and some ways that you can do that on there. So with YouTube Shorts, when you initially upload the video, and I think everybody's going to be okay with us going over an hour here today. Regardless, I got to do the rest of the syndicating anyway. So I'm going to do it one way or another. But once you actually upload it, you can go back and edit the description, which is where you can put a link. The other thing that I do and recommend is you can then go to the video, add a comment, and pin that comment as well. So that's two places in that specific use case that you mentioned, where you can increase the likelihood of them seeing it. So if you have a call to action at the end, that's like, go find the link in the description for more information, or check out the comment below for more information. That would be, a potential workaround or way specifically on YouTube. All right.
Thanks.
Yep. Here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go back to CapCut, and I'm going to add an audio track because I want to show everybody how to do that, one. And number two, on Twitter and Facebook Reels, there's no real native way to add that audio track. And and maybe this is the ADD brain in me, unlike James, I find the audio track underneath to make the videos much more interesting. And maybe it's also because it's my voice, and I just, I've heard my voice plenty enough in my life. It is critically important, though, that you have it low enough that it doesn't become a distraction. All right, so I'm back into, this is bothering me that I can't, okay, I can see it now. So if I go right below the video here, it says plus add audio. If I choose that, and then I tap on sounds, bottom left, I typically will go to beats or party, or generally I'll choose happy. And a lot of these tracks are the same tracks you're going to find from TikTok, for example. And I have some favorites that I go to. I like this beat. I use it often. I don't know, that one's a little too airy-fairy for me or whatever. This one's literally called House Tour. It's pretty cool. Blue Eyes Girl. I'm just going to go with House Tour. So I hit plus. I chose that, and I hit plus. And now, two things I need to do with this. I need to go and see, is this the appropriate length? Okay. And you can see here that it's actually too long. So I'm going to select it by tapping on it. And I'm going to go find the end of it. Wow, this one's really long. I should have checked that, I guess. And I have to drag it back to make it even with my video, so that it doesn't make the video, an extra 2 minutes of just music. If it were too short, I can loop the track by selecting it and clicking copy on the far right bottom here, and it will just duplicate that track. And then you just trim it down so that it matches up with the length of the video. One other thing, though, I've got to do before I export it is I've got to go back over to the far bottom left. I choose volume and tune this thing down. I typically will go somewhere between 10 and 15.
One of the biggest questions we're getting right now is, should I still buy a home today? Here's what I can tell you. While the head
I'm going to hit OK on that. I'm going to export that. Now, I've got to go and do the caption and the geotagging again because I've lost that. This is a new video export. Okay, but there's it doesn't take long, and I'll show you, how I do it because I'm lazy, productively lazy. Is I'm going to go back and find the one where I had already done that. I think it was this one. Oh, no, not edit. The I. Yeah. So I'm just going to copy my caption already. I'm going to go to my new exported one. I'm going to paste in the caption. Click done. I'm going to add the location. I'm going to add Harrisburg, PA again. Done. Ready to go. So now I'm going to go. The only way I've been able to find how to upload a reel to my Facebook page is through the primary app, not the Meta Business app, though that is where they want you to manage your pages. When I go there, I can't upload a reel. I can upload the video, but I can't upload it as a reel. And so I want mine to be uploaded as a reel. The way that I'm just showing you how I do it is I'm on the main Facebook app. I go to search and I find my Facebook page. I select my Facebook page and now I can choose reel.
the biggest questions we're getting right now is, should I still buy a home?
And I can do the same
Here's
things
what
here.
tell
I
you.
can add
While the
effects.
headlines
I
are
can add a
focused on the
sticker.
market cooling in recent months, they don't paint the full picture of why home ownership is worth it. While those
Find a home
short-term
here.
changes matter, homeowners win in the long run, and I can prove
Maybe I'm
it.
gonna
We
find a
know
home.
that home values typically rise with time, and we've certainly seen that over the past few years. But here's what I want you to really understand and focus on. On average, home prices have risen.
Whatever. I'm gonna click next. Now I have to go and copy my description and hashtags again because I copied my caption. Whoops. Pasted that in there. Click done. Share reel. So that's uploading. I would do the same on Twitter. Make sure I've got the right Twitter account picked here. This one's important. Twitter will always clip it down to 45 and it will clip off the beginning of it. But you can have videos up to 2 minutes, maybe even longer there. All you have to do is just drag it back to be the full selection. I don't know why it does that. Doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. This one doesn't have my captions. No, we're chugging along. I add in, I make sure that I've got the location. For some reason, this was giving me fits last week doing Harrisburg, PA. I don't know why it won't just do Harrisburg, PA. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it as Pennsylvania. I can do the same exact thing on the LinkedIn app. Choose the app plus. I'm going to choose it's add a photo, but I'm actually adding a video. Okay, I'm not going to post that right now to this platform. The last thing, actually, no, I'm going to show a couple of different things, but the next to last one is a YouTube short, So I'm going to open my YouTube app. I'm going to click plus. Oh, I got the wrong channel selected. I'm going to change my channel here. Create a short. And even if whether you choose create a short or upload a video, if it's 60 seconds or less, it's going to make it a short. Okay. You know what? I'm going to choose which one. I'm going to choose this one.
One of the biggest questions we're getting right now is, should I still buy a home today? Here's what I can tell you. While the headlines are focused on the market cooling in recent months, they don't paint the full picture of why home ownership is worth it. While those
you guys will be able to recite this by the time this is done. I'm going to choose add sounds. So we can natively add sounds in YouTube as well. Let's go up and coming, hip hop, indie, rock. I thought there was. I thought I had found a category that in here before, but maybe I'm misremembering. Let's see here. Top sounds. We'll just go to top sounds and see more. A lot of these are actual, musics, or music, actual songs, right? I would prefer it be just an instrumental track, because that, I would say, takes what James mentioned, or his experience, to another level. Like if it's someone singing the lyrics underneath you, that I most definitely would be a distraction. I'm not finding any. You know what? I'm just going to upload this without a sound. Okay. I'm just going to.
One of the biggest questions we're getting right now is,
do no sound on this. I'm going to click next.
Good eyes.
Okay. When you upload a short, it only gives you a few options until the video is uploaded. Once it's uploaded, you can then edit it like any other YouTube video. You can add tags. You can add a description. You can add a location. You can put in end cards. You can, what else do we do? Well, I'm going to show you here in a minute how you can edit all of that. And in fact, I'm going to leave the visibility as unlisted, because I wanted to upload it. Then I want to edit it before I make it publicly, be able to, for folks to publicly be able to consume it. So I'm going to choose this. I'm going to paste that in. And you have 100 characters here. I'm going to say, here are 3 reasons why the answer is yes. Because that's what I give in the video. 3 reasons why I would say that the answer is yes. Harry, while that's uploading, go ahead. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, I know. I was.
There you go.
So can you do all that editing and adding on your desktop once it's uploaded? Or do you have to do it
100%
from the phone?
yes. You can do it on your phone, or you can do it on your desktop. For most people, myself included, it's easier to do it on a desktop or a laptop, whatever, but you can do it on your phone. So I'm going to show you, I'll show on my phone, and then I'm going to switch over to desktop for the rest of what we're going to do here.
Somebody asked a question too in the
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
chat. Do you recommend adding a custom thumbnail on YouTube Shorts or not?
You could. I don't. I find that if you've put a headline and if it's got some captioning going, I feel like it's engaging enough. I don't think it would be harmful. But the other thing about shorts that's different is vertical versus horizontal. So I can't remember if we have ever used a thumbnail that we created for a short or not. But generally speaking, I just will go and clip me. I mean, you can, well, here, you can see some of these are shorts. And I don't have any. And some of them are making just wonderful faces. I don't even know what the Legacy Park one, I have no idea what I'm doing there. But that's a great question. I don't think it would do any harm, but my experience is, well, I just haven't done them. I'm not going to say that it because I don't have proof one way or the other that it's worthwhile or not.
Hey, Josh, there's another question. in the chat for someone who is new. They're
Okay.
asking, they're just uploading TikTok and wanted to know which app to add.
What do you mean?
Well,
Can you
apparently
clarify?
there's more than one choice. I don't know who posted that,
Well,
but
if you're making the videos, I would post them everywhere I'm showing. I would post them on Instagram. I would post them on Facebook. If you have a Twitter account, I'd post them on Twitter. If you have a LinkedIn profile, I'd post them on LinkedIn. If you have a YouTube account, I'd post them. I'd post them wherever you have the ability to do it. Even if you're
Mhm.
brand new on all of those. One of the beautiful things about short video content is you can get traction and distribution or views without having to have, like, you could create a TikTok account today, upload a video to TikTok, and tomorrow morning you could have 30,000 views. Now you might also upload one and get 0, but my point is there's less what's the word? Like, you don't have to have a bunch of existing clout on these platforms for it to be worthwhile. You can literally start from scratch and be getting traction and eyeballs on this. And by the way, this is taking a long time. Once you do this, and you do this where you're not explaining every step and so forth, you can get very efficient at this process. Or you could possibly, this is a little bit tricky, I don't know. You could potentially hire someone. They may have to have their own. I don't know. That gets a little bit mucky potentially. But you can do. I have done this entire process in under 20 minutes. I would say on average 30 to 45 minutes. Still significantly less time than if I were to try to communicate this video to my entire database one-to-one, right? Still a huge time saver.
Josh, I have another question. When I look up captions in my app store, I get captions, generator for videos, for talking videos, for Instagram. Are those all separate apps, or are they all the same app, captions?
I don't know. Are you on iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the link to the one that I use. And the thumbnail of it looks like it's that purple one. It's the purple, it's the purple one with the, I don't know what, like kind of like the white teardrop that's turning.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
That's the one.
And for the person that asked about the
a paid
TikTok
one. What's that?
Yeah. That's what the TikTok logo looks
Yes,
like
Josh,
as well.
Josh, that was me, Patricia. And that's on my phone to download or upload the TikTok program. It says TikTok for adults, TikTok followers, TikTok.
Right.
And then it says, then the very bottom one says Tik Pro, save TikTok videos. And I was wondering, is that what we should be using or just the regular TikTok?
I'm totally lost now. I don't.
Regular TikTok.
The regular TikTok. Okay, thank you, hon.
Good. I'm glad. Okay, so here's how you can edit it once it's uploaded on your phone. You just go and find, so I'm in my videos. I choose your videos. I do the ... at the top right, edit. And now I can add a description. Would be pretty tedious unless you were copying and pasting it from somewhere else, right? I mean, adding a description in there can be. What I will do is I will add the location. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm choosing Harrisburg. I can also add tags. Okay, and I'm going to do that different. I'm going to do that on my laptop here in a minute. I can also add it to other playlists. So I'm going to choose some playlists. I'll just leave it at that. So I am going to save that, but it's still unlisted. It's still unlisted currently. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to unplug my phone. Stop the share. I'm going to share my screen and edit. I'm going to do the rest here from this. And this is we're coming down towards the end of what I had planned to share. Thank goodness. 12:10 already. But then we'll certainly open it up for as many, as much Q&A as folks would like. So I'm going to go to YouTube on my laptop now. And I just find that it's much easier and faster to edit your description, to add tags, and do some of the other things that there is some functionality that you can't add from the phone YouTube app that you can add directly in YouTube. Hopefully this cooperates. My guess is it's going to be a little slow because we're screen sharing and because I have things installed, some video apps installed that can tend to bog this down. Okay, so I've got the video here. It's still unlisted, so there's no views. I'm going to click on edit. I promise, for most of you anyway, it won't take this long to do that. This is because I'm screen sharing. We've got Zoom open. It's being live streamed. It's taxing my my laptop and the ability to do some of this. And what I will probably do because of that is I'll talk through, once this opens up, I'll talk through some of the things and some of the additional ways that I would leverage this content, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. And again, for guests today, if you want, we're going to package all of this up with step-by-step tutorials and more details on some of the things that we're going to run out of time to do a deep dive on today. Just get back with to whoever invited you here, and they will share that with you once we have that all available. So right here, you can see that I can add a description. I can add the description there. I can upload a thumbnail there. I can add tags. And some of these things may look different for me because I have TubeBuddy and I forget some other add-on added into here. I forget, it's TubeBuddy and there's one other one that I've got loaded, which is also bogging this down as well. But there's where you can add tags. If I had not added the video location, and that's the other thing, it's going to make me verify that it's me. If I had not added the location, I can add that there as well. I'm going to have to do this because I do want to show you something. I show everybody something. I want to illustrate for Harry what I was mentioning of adding a comment and pinning it.
That's basically the same as a regular YouTube video, right?
Correct. It's at this point, once the video is uploaded, you can edit it and do things with that video just like any other YouTube video.
Great.
It's just the initial short setup. So I will just share this right here. Now this one, hasn't got a ton of views, but 39 is still better than 0. And it was a video that took me 52 seconds to record out in front of a listing that I went out to put the sign and the lockbox on. And one of the reasons why I do that personally still is so that I can record a video like this one out in front. And when your video goes live, you want to help generate some activity on that. So the first thing we always do is we open it up and watch the whole video. Okay, watch the whole video. And this one is short. We're not actually going to watch this one because I'm sick of hearing my own voice. But you guys, you all can, you can find my YouTube channel if you want to. But the reason why I wanted to open this up is to point out the strategy that I mentioned where Harry asked, how can you maybe leverage a call to action better or point to a call to action better. And so there's a comment here, and it's me that I had added a pinned comment. Text JS75. Now I could have put a URL there. I could have put any number of things, but one of the reasons why I put that in there is
I'm out here at
that's the
751
call to
South
action that I
60th
had at the end of this video. Was, if you're interested, if you would like more information, if you'd like to schedule a private tour, text JS751 to 717-510-1452. So here's what we're going to do. Because of the time and because of the fact that everything I'm doing at this point on the computer is really slowed down, I want to share two more things that we do, which will get added. The how-to will get added in, and then I want to open it up for Q&A. So the next thing is, we would take that video YouTube link and add it as an update on Google, on your Google business listing. Okay. Add it as an update on your Google business listing where you can add a picture. Okay. Now this one, so I can't directly upload the video because it's longer than 30 seconds. It's 60 seconds, but I can link to the YouTube video. And the other benefit of that is then a backlink to your video from Google, and they both, they're co-mingled resources, right? Google owns YouTube. And anyway, you can put a link in there with the same description, right? I would use the same description as I used with the short. You can put a link, and actually, we can actually do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I want to record that separately because that'll just take another minute here. And then the last thing would be taking that video and creating a blog post where you're embedding the video in a blog post as well, or a page, finding some other way that you can embed or syndicate out that video as a standalone asset. So that was a lot. The hardest is going to be the first one. 0 to 1 is always the hardest with anything you do, right? It's going to take, even if it takes you a week to do the first one from end to end, the next one, maybe it only takes 4 days. And the next one, maybe it only takes 3, and then 2, and then 1, and then you've got it down to an hour, and then you've got it down to a half an hour. But you got to start somewhere, and 0 to 1 is the hardest. We're going to do our best to make it as easy as possible to go from 0 to 1 with the bonus tutorials and training that you can get by getting back to whoever invited you. But it's still, there's no getting around it. The first one's going to be the hardest. Questions, comments, thoughts, ideas? Let me give you a tip for those of you that are maybe not comfortable on video yet, right? Because you all need to get comfortable on video. Here's a simple way that I've found that I think is helpful to get you comfortable and more efficient at communicating and just getting used to seeing yourself on camera. I would assume that every single one of you is on Facebook. And every day, Facebook will tell you who of your friends have birthdays. If you send a short video birthday message to each of your friends every day, each day you will be getting more comfortable and a little better at doing those videos. So to do that, okay, that's who's got the birthday. You click on it. Then it's got a list of who's got the birthday. You click on the person. You click message. You open up. So this is Facebook Messenger now. I click the camera. Oh, I forgot you have to hold the record button when you do this. I'm actually going to record one. Hey, Rhonda, just wanted to personally wish you a very happy birthday. I hope your fall is off to a great start and you've got some fun plans for the holiday season. If there's anything at all I can do to help or support you, don't hesitate to ask. I hope you have a great birthday and a wonderful week. Okay. Whatever your message is, here's why this is an easy way to get more comfortable on video. Number one, they have to be 20 seconds or less. So it forces you to be efficient with your words. Number two, you're sending it to one person. You're not sending this out to the world for all to see. You're sending it to one person. You can delete and redo if you're not comfortable, right? And number three, it's forced practice. You can't, you're not recording one to many. Like I had seven people that had a birthday, I think. Some days it's like 10 or 15. And you're, you know, listen, if you want to get better, like at anything in life, you got to practice it. You got to do it. Okay. There's no shortcut to that. And so that's a simple way. Another challenge, if you want, is just record a video a day for a month, even if you don't do anything with them. They just live on your phone. You delete them, right? You don't share them with anyone. I guarantee if you do it, the video on day 30 will be better than the first one. If you want a good laugh, and I say this, but I don't actually want anyone to do this. If you go try and find some of my early videos from the late 2000s, whoo, they are rough. Not only was it a lot harder to create and get video out there, I was a lot less comfortable and a lot less. I wouldn't even consider myself polished. I just wasn't very good. And I say that as an encouragement, right? So questions, comments, thoughts, ideas. We've got some great comments in the chat. We had a great group on, a lot of guests, which is fun and exciting. Any last questions or words of wisdom? If you want the bonus mention, just get back to whoever invited you. Get back to whoever invited you, and as soon as we have that prepared and available, we'll get that to you. Obviously, the document is, any of you can have that. The recording of this we'll have ready by this afternoon, but the full sort of guide or manual of walking through the process, that'll take us a few days. And by us, I mean my guy, Mike, because he's the bomb. Isabel.
Yes. Hi, Josh. I got here a little bit late, but I have a question.
Sure.
Do you recommend that we do like like when you interview local businesses, do you recommend doing those type of videos and putting up on YouTube?
I think that is potentially a great strategy. If you commit to it, you do it consistently, and you have a process for it. That would not fall under this short form video umbrella, though. If you're going to do that, I would think that would be a longer form video, but you might want to take clips from that and make a short form video. Whereas the offer or the call to action is, if you'd like to see the full interview with, Bill, the owner of our local coffee shop here, or whatever it is, check out the link in the description or in the comments or whatever the case may be. So, your question illustrates the point that there are lots of things and lots of ways for us all to get more clients. It's a matter of picking the ones that resonate with us, that fit our personality, and that we are going. Here's the way I would think about whether or not to do that. Is that something that if you commit to do it for the next year, one a week, or maybe just one a month, whatever it is, if you commit to doing that for the next year, does that feel like something that excites you? Or does that feel like something that would be painful, right? Or a punishment? And I guess my point in asking that is because there are lots of ways to get clients. That way could work, can work. It's a matter of, will it work for me? Does it resonate with me? Is it something you would want to do for a year, even if you got no clients? Is it still something that would, that you would feel excited about and that would fill you up? So that's the way I would think about it. And I've done that a little bit. I did a few of those during the pandemic. It's just not something that I'll do consistently. I just know myself too well, right? Like part of that is knowing who you are and what choosing your hard. There are other hard things that I will do over that one. So I guess that wasn't a direct answer, but hopefully that helped.
No, it does help. It does help. And also wanted to ask you, actually my sister's the one that's doing all the videos because she's the realtor and I do all the marketing for her. But I wanted to ask you, since you have more experience, have you gotten business from your YouTube channel?
I have. Not a lot, but I certainly have. And the clients I have, generally speaking, are real easy. But I don't mean, what I mean is they listen and they follow your lead. They trust that you are someone that will take good care of them because you've already made a connection with them. You know, even though you may not have met them, they feel like they've met you because they've seen you on video. They've made a connection with you in some form or fashion. And Isabel, you said no one invited me, so how can I? Someone had you.
No, I just saw your event on Facebook.
Okay, so I invited it.
Oh.
Yeah, I invite whoever was the reason why you're here as a guest. Get back with them. There you go. Good,
Okay.
good point though. Good point. Angie.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, and thanks for coming.
I wanted to ask you to go back. You were talking when we first started about the real talk. I do have Keeping Current Matters. I subscribe, but I think that's a new feature. Is that?
Yep. So you have to have, I don't know, I forget what they call the levels. Here, I'm going to share my phone again. I forget what they call the different levels, but you have to
I think that's Premier.
Okay.
So I have to have the Premier. I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to push the button.
Yeah. So if you do, I mean, just so you can get an idea for those that are wondering, this is what it looks like. So I think if you don't have Premier, you just wouldn't have the gray button that says scripts. But if you click on scripts, it looks like one a week that they're putting out. And the one that I recorded this morning was the one from October 6th, Why Owning a Home Pays Off in the Long Run. Notice that's not the title that I used. Not that that's a bad title. I just like using questions and the answer, the question that they're answering in this video is, you know, one of the biggest questions I'm getting right now is, should I still buy a home today? Right. So that's really the question that's being answered. So that's what it looks like. You know, whether or not it's worth it.
Okay. So I have to have the Premier in order to, I think, even get that. I think.
Correct. Yes. They're only, so I have Premium is the account level that I have.
Yeah, Premium. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go for it. Josh, you might talk me into it.
Well, listen, I get nothing from recommending them, but they do offer a great service. And if this is something like, if you're saying or deciding today, I'm going to commit to doing this at least once a week for the next quarter, the next 90 days, then I think it's probably worth it for you, so that you never you never have to decide what to make your video about. You can literally just record whatever video they release. You can literally do that. Does that mean that that's the right answer for everyone? No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I think, I don't even know what it costs. It's
$89.
Okay.
So I mean, because I already have the subscription. I don't even remember. I think it's like $59 without that. And
well,
then
here's what you could try. Here's what you could try in the meantime. If you're undecided on that, use what you already have with them and just make your own videos around it. So take a blog post and see if you can use the formula that I had mentioned. Record a 7 to 10 second intro, record 3 clips of 3 things. Like in this video, it was like, inventory is increasing, right? There are more homes for sale. Bidding wars are decreasing. And that means because of those 2 things, number 3, you have some negotiating power that you didn't have 6 or 12 months ago.
Mhm.
You know, you might actually be able to get an inspection, or you might also be able to get some seller help, things of that nature. So have those points, and then an outro. And if that works, then maybe you don't need that add-on.
Okay, I might try that because we're banking. Me and my daughter are going to start doing weekly videos. She's going to do hers and I'm going to do mine.
Right
And
on.
right now we're making them and banking them. It's probably going to start at the beginning of the year. So I'm going to try that.
Right on.
Thank you.
You bet. One thing that I didn't mention as far as, you know, ways to leverage your video, and we'll get this added to the doc, is email your database the video, whether it's part of your Friday email, if you're using our Friday weekly email template, or if you send it as a standalone. Like, I'm going to use that video as a standalone email this week to the buyer segment of my database and answer that question, you know, wondering if now is still, you know, a good time to buy a home in Central PA. You know, this video gives you 3 reasons why the answer is yes. The other thing is, if you're using HomeBot, HomeBot allows you to send videos, YouTube links, or even BombBomb videos, but in this case, a YouTube link, out to the contacts in your HomeBot. Now, if you're using HomeBot as a seller nurture, you'd want to create a short form video. For example, what was the one? There was one in KCM that was like, you know, there was one that was specifically to selling this fall. And then there was another one that was, reasons to sell this fall. And then there was another one, the importance of pricing your house at current market value. Right? That would be a great one to send your seller nurture, like home value leads, past clients, sphere of influence, things of that nature. Thanks for chiming in, Andy. Appreciate it. You bet. Other questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas? This has been a long session. I'm sure all of you are chomping at the bit to get after it for the week. Okay, so if you would like the replay of this, the document, and the bonus resources, etc., once they are all compiled together, just get back with whoever invited you here today, and they would be happy to share that. We also have the next 2 topics already lined up for our Monday Marketing Mastermind. Next week, we're going to be talking about how to help self-employed folks and business owners in your market buy a home, and not just as far as what mortgage programs may be available to them, but also how to use those as a way of creating curiosity and generating interest from people. So how to use these programs to get you more clients, right? So we're not going to go deep nuts and bolts into, you know, here's how they qualify, right? We'll give you the big picture overview, but then it's going to be more about, remember, it's a marketing mastermind, how you can use that to then get yourself some more client opportunities. And then the week after that, we're going to be talking about the fastest way to get into conversations with motivated buyers right now, like literally how you could, you know, you can be doing it today and having great conversations with motivated buyers right now. Okay, thanks so much, everybody. Let's get out and make it a wonderful week. Bring back wins if you're coming back on Wednesday for our huddle. Bring back your wins to share at the beginning. And I hope everyone, a couple other housekeeping items. Texting Tuesday is tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. It's on the Josh Schoenly YouTube channel. And for those of you that are a part of our Pathway group, we have our big group coaching 12:30 Eastern tomorrow, and then back here 11 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday for our coaching huddle. Thanks again. Let's make it a great week, all.